This is probably the hardest post I've ever had to write, and honestly, I'm still processing everything. I'm a 45-year-old man, will call me Ben, and my wife Sarah, who is 44, and I have been married for 14 years. We have 2 kids, a 16-year-old son, Tyler, and a 12-year-old daughter. For the most part, our marriage has been good. We've had our ups and downs like any couple, but I thought we were mostly on the same page about the big things, especially when it came to our kids. That assumption was shattered last week. A little over a year ago, Tyler came out to us as gay. I'll be honest, it took me by surprise. It's one of those things you never really plan for as a parent, and I needed some time to process it. But I've always loved my kids unconditionally. I want them to feel safe, loved, and accepted, and that includes Tyler. The day he came out, I made sure to tell him that I loved him no matter what, and that nothing about him could ever change that. I wanted him to know he had a safe place with me. Sarah didn't react the same way. She didn't say anything negative outright, but her face told me everything. She looked disappointed, maybe even hurt. She went through what I can only describe as a grieving period. She barely spoke to Tyler for weeks and avoided the topic altogether. When we did talk about it, she'd make comments like, "It's just a phase," or "He's confused." I told myself she needed time to process it, and I tried to be patient with her, hoping she'd come around eventually. Over the past year, I've done everything I can to support Tyler. I've read up on LGBTQ+ issues, joined online support groups for parents, and made sure he knows he's loved just as he is. I don't want him to feel ashamed or isolated, and I refuse to be the kind of father who lets his child feel unloved just because he's different. But Sarah never really changed. She would occasionally make offhand comments about how Tyler needs guidance or just hasn't found the right path. I'd push back, reminding her that Tyler is who he is, and that there's nothing wrong with him. She'd go quiet whenever I defended him, and for a while I thought maybe she was coming to terms with things in her own way. Fast forward to last week. We were talking about Tyler's future, college, career plans, the usual. Out of nowhere, Sarah brings up that she's been looking into conversion therapy camps. She said it in this casual, almost cheerful tone, like it was some great new opportunity. She told me she thought it would be the right solution for Tyler, that he isn't truly gay and just needs to be shown the right path. I felt like someone had punched me in the gut. My mind was racing, trying to process what she'd just said. I asked her if she was serious, if she actually thought sending Tyler to some camp to fix him was a good idea. She doubled down, saying that Tyler is confused and that if we really cared about him, we'd do everything possible to help him get better. I could barely find the words to respond. All I managed to say was that I would never, under any circumstances, support something as damaging and abusive as conversion therapy. She looked at me like I was the one who was crazy and accused me of enabling Tyler's confusion. She even said I was failing him as a father for not taking steps to correct this. I'm disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. I can't even look at her the same way anymore. The fact that she could even consider something like this, knowing full well how dangerous these camps are, it breaks my heart. Conversion therapy is nothing short of abuse. The stories I've read about kids who go through it, being shamed, isolated, and in some cases physically abused, are horrifying. Many come out deeply traumatized and some don't come out at all. I can't wrap my head around the idea that my wife, the mother of my children, thinks this is okay. I feel like I've been hit with a double betrayal. Not only is Sarah willing to put our son through something so damaging, but she's making it clear that she doesn't accept who he is at all. I thought I married someone who would love and protect our children no matter what. Now I'm questioning everything. I don't know how to be in a marriage with someone who sees our son as a problem to be fixed. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think I love her anymore. This has shattered any respect I had for her, and I can't imagine staying with someone who thinks my son is broken or wrong. But then, there's my daughter to consider. She's only 12, and the thought of splitting up our family is painful. I don't want to disrupt her life or put her through the turmoil of a divorce. But at the same time, staying in this marriage feels like a betrayal to Tyler. I feel like I'm forced to choose between my children's well-being. Tyler hasn't heard any of this yet. He's been through enough already, and I want to protect him from as much of this as I can. I want him to feel safe in his own home, not like he has to hide who he is from his own mother. But I don't know how long I can shield him from her feelings about this. I'm terrified that one day she'll say something to him that will break his spirit, that she'll make him feel ashamed of who he is. I don't know how to protect him from his own mother, and that thought alone fills me with rage. A part of me is considering staying, at least for a while, just to keep things stable for my daughter's sake. But would that stability come at the cost of my son's mental health and well-being? It feels wrong, like I'm choosing one child over the other. I know that Tyler would be devastated if he found out I stayed with someone who thought he was broken or needed fixing. I don't want him to think I'm condoning her behavior or that I agree with her in any way. I've tried reasoning with her, explaining how harmful and cruel conversion therapy is, but she won't listen. She's so set on this idea that Tyler just needs to be guided back to the right path. It's like she's lost all compassion and I don't recognize this person anymore. I thought we were raising our kids with love and acceptance, and now I'm questioning everything I thought we stood for. So here I am, questioning everything and wondering if divorcing her is the right choice. Would I be the asshole for ending my marriage over this? Part of me thinks I should do whatever it takes to protect my son, even if that means breaking up our family. But another part of me is terrified of the impact it would have on my daughter, and how complicated and painful this will be for both of them. I just never thought I'd be in a position where I had to make this choice. What would you do? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And